Welcome back to the Den. It is February 5th, 2026, and I am currently nursing a cup of coffee that definitely has a light dusting of walnut shavings on the surface. It's part of a balanced breakfast, Alex.
Is that why your voice sounds like you swallowed a belt sander this morning? Honestly, Tiger, I don't know how you do it. Most people start their day with avocado toast. You start yours by seasoning your caffeine with industrial waste.
It builds character and calluses, but we've got a lot to get through today. We're looking at some high-tech 3D printing stuff, the reality of carpentry careers in 2026, and a project involving resin penguins that, wait for it, actually makes money.
Resin penguins? I feel like we're skipping a lot of steps to get to profitable art, but okay. Lead the way, oh wise one.
All right, let's talk tech. Here's what I wish someone had told me about 10 years ago. 3D printing isn't just for making little plastic superheroes and wobbly vases. We've been keeping a close eye on all 3DP. It's basically the gold standard for this stuff. Carolyn Schwar over there has been doing some brilliant work on how to actually bridge the gap between hobbyist with a cool toy and professional workshop.
Wait, hold on. I'm a wood and metal guy. Why am I looking at a plastic printer when I have a perfectly good lathe right here?
Because, Alex, what they don't put in the manual for old machinery is that when a handle breaks on a 1940s South Bend lathe, you can't exactly go to the local hardware store and buy a replacement.
Let me guess. You tried to carve one out of a 2x4?
Don't ask me how I figured this out, but wood handles on metal lathes end up as colorful splinters pretty fast. What the old-timers know, but don't always share, is that the new-timers are using 3D scanning and CAD to prototype jigs. I'm using a printer now to make custom dust collection adapters and featherboards that fit my specific, slightly misaligned table saw fence. It's about additive manufacturing, supporting your subtractive tools.
Okay, I see the utility. But is it actually pro level yet? Or are we still looking at 14 hours of printing for something that breaks the first time I drop a wrench on it?
That's where Schwar's insights come in. It's about understanding the material science. We aren't just printing in PLA anymore. We're looking at carbon fiber reinforced filaments that can genuinely hold up in a shop environment. It's the difference between a prototype and a tool.
Speaking of tools, let's pivot to the people using them. You saw that report on the resurgence of apprenticeships in residential building, right?
I did, and it's about time. Here's the thing, nobody tells you about the trades. It's not just about learning how to swing a hammer or read a speed square, it's a retention strategy. The industry is finally realizing that if you treat an employee like a disposable part, they're going to act like one.
So, the apprenticeship triangle thing, mentorship, skill, and business.
Exactly. The builders who are winning right now are the ones teaching the business side too. If you're an aspiring pro, you don't just want a boss. You want a mentor who explains why the quote was $5,000 instead of 3.
Is this where you tell me about the time you quoted a job and forgot to factor in the cost of, I don't know, the wood?
Let's just say I paid tuition on that lesson. Twice. I once built an entire set of custom cabinets for a kitchen and forgot to account for the fact that the client's floor was 3 inches out of level from one side to the other. I looked at the blueprint. I didn't look at the dirt.
Tiger, that's classic. The parts they leave out of the YouTube tutorials, like, gravity and physics.
Exactly. That's why I'm obsessed with the Fine Home Building Index right now. It's a searchable encyclopedia. If you're struggling with a flashing detail on a roof or a complex stair stringer, some master who's been doing it since the 70s has already written the definitive guide. You don't have to guess.
Let's talk money. Because as much as we love the craft, the maker mogul side of the TigerDen community needs to eat. You mentioned the Maker Channel and their Profit King projects.
Right. And nobody warns you about this, but most makers go broke by trying to be custom everything. Custom is a trap if you haven't mastered the small batch.
Wait, give me the breakdown. Why small batch over one-offs?
Efficiency. If I'm making one custom dining table, I'm setting up my tools 50 different times. If I'm making 10 functional art charcuterie boards with high-end resin inlays, I'm setting up once. The profit margin is in the repetition of the process, not just the hours spent.
Okay, but we have to address the resin penguin family. Tiger, when I read that in the notes, I thought you'd finally inhaled too much sawdust. Specifically, plywood to resin inlay penguins.
Listen, I know how it sounds, but hear me out. Resin inlays on plywood, specifically Baltic birch, are incredibly popular in the affordable art market right now. You route out a silhouette, like a stylized penguin family, fill it with a vibrant, high-quality resin, sand it flush, and you have something that looks like it belongs in a boutique, but costs you $8 in materials.
And people buy this?
People love this. It's tactile, it's modern, and it has that handmade soul. The secret is the family aspect. People buy them as gifts representing their own families. It's emotional marketing paired with CNC or router jig efficiency. It's the kind of high-margin weekend project that keeps the lights on while you're working on your masterpiece.
Fine, I'll give you the penguins. But what about this retro tech thing? The Ender 2 Pro is making a comeback in 2026? That machine is practically a dinosaur in tech years.
That's what the big companies want you to think. But the Ender 2 Pro is the workhorse of the small-scale shop. It's a small footprint, it's reliable, and because it's older tech, we know exactly how to fix it when it complains.
It's the 1960s Chevy of 3D printers.
Exactly. What the old-timers know is that you don't always need the latest, flashiest $2,000 unit. Sometimes you just need 3 reliable small machines running 24/7 to churn out those custom knobs or jig components. We're calling it turning back the clock. It's about intentionality over trend chasing.
We've covered a lot today: tech, trades, penguins. But if you had to give one Tigerism for the weekend, what would it be?
I think it's this. Stop waiting for the perfect tool to start the project. I've seen guys with $5,000 shops who haven't made a birdhouse in 3 years because they're waiting for the right moisture meter.
And you're out here drinking sawdust coffee and making resin birds.
Precisely. The goal isn't the shop. The goal is the thing the shop produces. Whether you're an apprentice learning the ropes or a maker mogul trying to scale, just go get your hands dirty. Make the mistake. Break the piece of plywood. Learn that one the hard way. A mistake in the shop is just an unplanned design feature if you're creative enough.
Unplanned design feature. I'm stealing that for the next time I strip a screw.
Take it. It's yours. To everyone listening, go find your Penguin Family project this weekend. Dive into the All 3D Peak guides or the Fine Home Building Index. Just keep making. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Go build something cool, or at least something that doesn't fall over.